Happy Monday and welcome back to our very first Game Plan Monday of 2026. It has been a crazy last 2 weeks for me trying to figure out all the things, and I ended up taking some time off. I am back in the saddle, ready to take 2026 by storm, and you are here joining me. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We're going to talk about something that sounds simple, but honestly, it definitely makes a huge difference in how long you stay consistent with your business. And that is celebrating the effort, not just the results. Because here's the truth, friends. Most people will quit not because they aren't capable of doing the things, but because they're only measuring their wins that show up after all of the work that they put in, all of that invisible work that they're putting in. And if you've ever felt like you are being slow, that you're doing the things and you're showing up and you're checking boxes, but the results are slow in coming and you just are not seeing them, then this one is definitely a video for you that you want to tune into. So let's get this out of the way right now. Results are definitely very motivating, but they are lagging indicators. Now, if you've read the 12-week year, lagging indicators is going to be something that makes sense. But if you have not, let me give you a brief definition. A lagging indicator is something that reflects work you've already done. It shows you what happened after the effort, not while you're in it. So what we have been experiencing is the lagging indicators, the things that we aren't necessarily seeing right away or experiencing because we are waiting for those results. We're waiting to see the sales, we're waiting to see the memberships, whatever. We're waiting to see those numbers. So they show up after you put in the consistency, you put in the repetition, you put in the practice, you put in the learning, and you make adjustments for those goals that you're working on. If the only thing you're tracking is the sales, the team growth, engagement, vanity metrics, it's really easy to feel like you're failing. Very easy. And in reality, you are simply laying the foundation. And we are in a new year and a new opportunity for you to lay a new foundation. Effort is what you can control. Effort is what builds the momentum that will help you get to the next thing. Effort is what keeps you in the game long enough for you to see the results at the end. So that's why this week we're going to plan for effort instead of perfection. So let's talk about different planning tools that you can use for this particular adventure. So you don't have to be fancy at all. You will need your Workly planner pages. If you are rapid logging away with me, then grabbing a journal. You're going to need a habit tracker or a checklist. And if you are in the 75 plan challenge with me, you probably already have a tracker. And then you need a small notes or reflection space. I do a daily reflection with 75 plans challenge, but I also do a weekly reflection as well. Some other things that you might want to grab are maybe a highlighter, sticker or two, dot marker, anything that's going to help you to track those efforts and wins. This goal is about visibility, not necessarily decorating all the things, right? We just want to take advantage of seeing what we've actually completed. So how do we put these tools into action? So at the top of your weekly planner, I want you to write this sentence. This week, effort looks like blank. And then I want you to fill in the blank. I want you to tell me what that effort looks like for you. Fill it in honestly. Some examples might be showing up even when motivation is low. That is me. I struggle with when my motivation gets low with not wanting to do anything. Following up instead of avoiding it. How many of you have avoided sending out your follow-up messages through the holidays? Now is a great time to jump back in and do that. Working in short, focused pockets of time. I know I have talked about this many times before, but utilizing a Pomodoro, I personally used a Pomodoro all day on Friday and again on Sunday to get a lot of work done in a short amount of time because it helps me stay hyper-focused. Learning something new. If you are involved in a book club that is with personal development books, I know two personal development book clubs that are happening right now. One is in my membership group, and the other is with the Blended Mama with Teresa Stone. She is reading The Lazy Genius Way, and we are working on money management with My Money My Way in the membership group. So learning something new is always a great way to help with your effort. And then here's a kicker: posting imperfectly. When we say post and show up for your people, we mean post and show up for your people. Not everything has to be planned. Not everything has to be scheduled in advance. Just showing up and hanging out with your people and being authentic, that is showing effort. This immediately takes the pressure off of needing a perfect outcome and gets you over the fact that, hey, I am showing up with effort, not necessarily in this perfection mode. Okay. Second step. Now you're going to list 3 to 5 effort-based actions you want to focus on this week. These should be things you can do, not things you hope will happen. So maybe instead of sending 20 follow-up messages, you're going to send 3. Maybe instead of spending 4 hours working on your business, you're going to spend 20 minutes. Maybe instead of scrolling, not mindlessly, maybe instead of scrolling and commenting on every post, maybe you're just going to comment meaningfully on 5 posts. Maybe you're going to prep content instead of posting daily. So maybe on the weekend, you're going to spend time getting all of your posts ready, scheduled and done instead of showing up daily because that makes you feel hurried and rushed. Maybe, speaking of reading personal development books, maybe you're just going to read 5 pages instead of the whole chapter because you just don't have time in your day. That's okay. You're going to add these things to your habit tracker, to your daily checklist, or you're going to write them directly in your planner for you to check off each day. You may not be able to control the sales, but you can control showing up for your business. All right. Step number 3. At the end of each day, I want you to acknowledge effort. Now, this should sound very familiar because we're writing the plan, right? We're doing the brain dump. We're writing the plan. We're doing the plan. Okay. Then we're tracking the plan. Now we're going to reflect about the plan. And if you've been following along, that is the 5 phases of the 75 plan challenge. So at the end of the day, you're going to acknowledge the effort. This can be the check marks. This could be the dots. This could be stickers. You could write a short sentence or even a reflective paragraph about what you experienced. Some examples might be, I showed up even though I didn't feel like it. I followed through on what I planned today. I didn't do everything, but I did do something. This matters more than you think. You are training your brain to notice the progress and not the outcome. Okay. Then we're going to do step number 4, which is a weekly reflection. At the end of the week, answer this one question. Where did I show up even when it wasn't perfect? Or what effort do I want to repeat next week? So you could answer one of those questions or both of those questions. This is how effort turns into consistency, and consistency turns into results. You're showing up, you're doing the things. So let's talk to our different seller types here joining me. Maybe you are a hobby seller. So effort for you might look like learning about a new product, posting once because you've never posted, staying connected without pressure, sending messages to your friends and sharing the opportunity of utilizing the product. Progress equals staying engaged without burning out. Maybe you are a business builder. Your effort might look more like doing your follow-ups, building a system, content batching. For you, progress equals setting yourself up for future growth. And what about those of you that are trying to wear many hats and do all of the things? Effort for you might look like one focused task or protecting your time by making sure you schedule time for you. Just saying. Saying no to extras. We've had this conversation in my membership many times before. It is okay for your calendar to have white space. You do not have to fill every waking minute of your day with things to do. In this case, progress equals sustainability. Effort is proof that you're still moving forward, even if it's not at the pace that you want to show up. So let me leave you with this. Progress is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't show up and say, hey, look at me, right? It builds slowly through effort you might not even notice yet. So if all you did this week was show up, that definitely counts. And I'm going to give you your 3 actions again. So 1, write your effort statement at the top of your planner. What does effort look like for you? You're going to track the actions instead of the outcomes, and you're going to celebrate 1 effort win each day. In fact, I would love for you to drop 1 effort win in the comments right now, and I will see you next Monday for our next Game Plan Monday. Hope you all have a fantastic week, friends. Make sure if you're joining us for our 75 Plan Challenge that you comment #75planned, those 5 phases, which include dump it, plan it, do it, track it, and reflect it. Hope you all have a fantastic day, friends, and I'll see you soon.